nitrous oxide, some shit like that. Whippets. I don't know what the fuck a whippet is. We're gonna see what the fuck a whippet is today. Is it nicotine? Like, is it a vape? I don't know.
In this moment of time, the internet seems to be going through a new trend, and unfortunately for me and you, them young got to it. But on a serious note, when this trend is not just being connected to the youth and the everyday person, but also celebrities such as Kanye West,
Ryan Garcia, this yeah, I'm on the nitrous.
Lil Uzi Vert, and Gunna, who have a mass influence around the world, it
Bro, you got
starts
these
to
niggas
pique
looking
my
like
curiosity at what's going on. Because I know things can only go wrong, especially with how social media likes to spread misinformation on bad things as a good thing. But first, before I get into everything, I just want to tell y'all a quick story on how I first found out about today's topic, and that would be from Mr. Sergio Kitchens himself, aka Gunna. So in 2020, either before or after the release of his Wanna album, one day Gunna was on Instagram Live, and during that short-lived Instagram Live, Gunna was playing music in the background, and I just figured he was previewing some new music. But while in the live, I did realize Gunna was holding a familiar shaped container that I felt like I've seen before in his hands. I was 16 at the time, and I thought this was like a weird hydro flask because this was around the Visco Girl era on TikTok. So I'm figuring that Gunna's trying to capitalize off that shit for his white fans, you feel me? But then I seen him inhale from the container, blow smoke out, and then he quickly ended the live shortly after. Come to find out in reports later on, it seems that this was actually a drug called a whippet, and it's actually a dangerous drug, which unfortunately led to Gunna receiving some backlash online. But it kind of seems like this whippet craze was
I'm
kind
a
of an
bad nigga
era
for
for
getting
Gunna
high.
because he had multiple clips where he was playing with the whippets like it's a toy action figure, sucking on the whippet canister like it's that one YoungBoy meme where he's sucking on the McFlurry spoon because he thinks it's a straw, which I know for a fact you watching this video right now, I know you thought that spoon was a straw one day and you was sucking on it. And to make matters worse, he literally had the balls to make a song called Whip It and put out a snippet for it. But since that situation all the way in 2020, I would never really hear about whippets ever again until recently all over my TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, where people are inhaling this dangerous gas from containers to masks to even balloons. And still to this day,
That nigga's trying to die, bro. That's all you need, bro.
all I can ask is what the hell is this drug? But it's okay because in today's video, we gonna find out. Now, before we even get into the juiciness and thickness of today's video, I first want to let y'all know real quick that this is the second episode to a new series that I'm starting on my YouTube channel called The Negative Influence of. And the first episode was actually over the negative influence of lean, and that was a few months back. Now, I will admit that video is kind of ass, but if you do want to learn something about some lean, some purple drink, then go watch that real quick and come back and learn something new again. But if you are a returner and you already watched that video, I very much appreciate it. If this is your first time watching me, period, I appreciate you even clicking. Hopefully I could gain your subscription at the end so you could join the militia and I could get maybe a like, maybe I could get a comment, maybe I could respond to your ass. But that's about it. Let's continue on. Now, what is nitrous oxide, you may be asking, and why do people commonly refer to it as a whippet or Nas? Well, nitrous oxide is a colorless gas commonly used for
Did that jersey say lean on the back? I'm not sure. Maybe it was nailed. It's just
sedation
slipped.
and pain relief. Dentists and medical professionals typically use it to sedate patients having minor medical procedures, while the gas can also be used as a food additive for whipped cream. And with the disbelief to find out in my research, it also can enhance engine performance in the automotive industry. Like, damn, this gas is putting up LeBron numbers. It's so versatile. So why refer to this gas as a whippet or Nas? Well, that's because Whippet gets its name from the whipped cream aerosol canisters that people would open to use the nitrous oxide gas inside. Also because of the Whippet company that sells containers that holds into O within. While Nas, I believe, is derivative from, I think it's a nut. Wait, hold on, what? Oh, okay, no, I'm tripping. Sorry, that's a whole different thing. It's actually because nitrous oxide isn't just for inhaling as a means of being put under anesthesia for surgery or to get high, but it also can be used as an oxidizer for rocket motors. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's not really relevant or the answer to it, but I just found that so interesting that you should know that this gas can not only put your ass to sleep, but can help a rocket motor. That's crazy. But to actually get to the point, you may know of Nas if you have ever played one of those hard to control as arcade racing games, or if you have ever watched literally any Fast and Furious movie where they have the gas tank in the car and then they literally just press the big button and then their car goes super fast. That's because that's called nitrous, aka Nas. Not him either, Nas. N-O-Z. Quick sidebar real quick, if I ever found out that the drug that I was doing had the power to help power a rocket's motor, and not only that, but it can give you a boost in street racing, I think I'm gonna have to take a deep hard look in the mirror and ask myself, how did my life get here to the point that I'm addicted to this gas? What the hell? And no matter what type of cool name you try to give it, because I've been seeing people try to collect these Galaxy gas containers as if it's some new high-end sneakers or some ultra rare Pokemon cards, while also trying to flex the containers on Instagram Live or in videos as if it's some like relic that they found from a treasure map. Like, it's insane right now. Please don't fall for these snake oil men. Trust me, you're not missing out on anything that they're trying to promote.
That shit gonna kill them niggas, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's some different shit. That's insane.
To you, I'm telling you. But now we have to figure out why. Why are they doing this drug? Because when you do decide to stop and just think about it and
Nigga, they trying to get high. Clearly the weed ain't getting it for them. They're trying to get super high. Nigga.
ask yourself, why are people going out their way to use a drug that only gives them a high of about 1 minute? Yes, I'm so serious. This drug literally lasts about a minute, and sometimes for different people, it can last you about 7 minutes. I don't know if that's enough for you, but 7 minutes of doing a drug that can take my life is crazy. But why? We still have to answer, why are they doing this? Well, duh, that's because of the side effects that comes with doing the drug, such as your mind feeling separate from your body, creating this sensation of euphoria as if you're floating through the skies, or your ability to sense things such as pain, sound, or touch being lowered, giving you a nice, numb feeling inside. You'll also have some hallucinations here and there, but at the end of it all, you also get a nice, jolly feeling, breaking out into laughs over things that just aren't funny at all, such as the fact that you're risking your mental health, inhaling on a gas that only gets you high for a few moments. And what's funniest about this drug is the fact that it takes longer to come down off of than it does to be on it. That's hilarious. And I actually had to decide if I even wanted to put this segment in the video on how people do this drug, simply because I'm worried people might actually gain interest in trying it just because of how easy it genuinely is to do the drug. But I had to understand that people are gonna do shit regardless if you tell them it's bad or not. So I'd rather give y'all the awareness of knowing what you're stepping into before you just go in blinded, you feel? So let's get into that. So before I get into the meat and potatoes of how you use this,
That's facts, cause I ain't gonna lie. Niggas just go start doing anything they ain't prepared for. And they get so fucking lost in that shit. That's why so many niggas my age fucking junkies, bro. That shit's sad.
dangerous gas as a way of getting high because you're a junkie, I want to firstly state that one, nitrous oxide gas is very cold and can cause frostbite to the nose, lips, and throat, including your vocal cords. So if inhaled directly from bulbs or dispensers, that means you'll be looking like that one fish from SpongeBob. And two, faulty gas dispensers can cause harm as they may explode. So, yeah, just be on the lookout for that Call of Duty search and destroy bomb that you're inhaling gas from. Okay, now I think you're ready. So firstly, I want to make it clear that most people who recreationally use N2O, also if you hear me say N2O, that's because it's nitrous oxide, so please just don't be confused. So most people who use NTO use a food grade version of it, for example, whipped cream containers, and what they'll do is just suck on the gas that helps propel the cream, which is crazy to say out loud now that I'm saying it. Secondly, there are cartridges, also known as whippets, that contains the gas as well. A person will basically puncture the top of the cartridge to let the gas escape, and then the person puts a balloon on the end of the charger and sucks the gas out of a balloon in order to warm the gas and normalize the pressure of it. Because if you don't know already, like I just told you, inhaling nitrous oxide directly from the container is very dangerous because the gas is under such high pressure and it comes out as extremely cold. So please be careful because this can damage your throat and lungs, stop you breathing, or slow your heart to a dangerous level. Lastly, we have automotive grade nitrous oxide, which should never be used since it contains sulfur dioxide, which is very unpleasant to inhale and has the potential to harm the lungs. Additionally,
These niggas trying to turn into like real transformers with this shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Why? Like, this is gas. Like, gas you put in a car. Nitrogen you put in a car. Real turbo, nigga. So you can get frostbite from shit. You gotta go through extreme measures just to hit the shit. You gotta put it on a balloon to warm it up so you don't fucking. Oh, hell no, man.
some
And it
people
can
may
blow up.
use solvents such as markers, whiteout, or glue to obtain the same high. But if you're at that point of needing the high so bad that you're sniffing glue, you need an intervention expeditiously because there's no way you don't see the issue with getting high off of school supplies. Like that's just insane. But as you can see, this drug is truly not that hard to do at all because you can literally just go into your nearest grocery store and purchase a whipped cream container and just huff and puff on that shit all day long. Now, before I go into the next section of this video, I first want to put out a warning real quick and just give y'all some awareness of saying, please do not ever crossfade anything with nitrous oxide. This is not weed, this is not any alcohol. This is nitrous oxide, this is a gas. The reason you should never crossfade this gas is because it increases the chances of overdosing highly. And not only that, but one, this is a gas. You don't know how much gas you're genuinely intaking. Sure,
But that nigga that said gas like 8 times. This is a gas. Remember, this is a gas.
you may know where to stop, but you
But
don't
it's a
know how
gas,
much
though.
you're actually getting. And two, once you take this drug and then you mix it with something else, you're gonna be on auto drive, meaning you won't have no control of your body, and whatever happens to you that night or morning or whenever you take this drug, literally that's it. You may die, you may wake up, you don't really know. It's gonna be like playing Russian roulette with yourself. Just don't do it, it's not worth it. But moving forward from how it's used, in my mind, I feel like people may ask, how can a drug that is so bad for you be so accessible if you shouldn't use it? Well, that's obviously because we genuinely do need the.
If I have the gift of prophecy and know all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but don't have love, I'm nothing. Sunday might be 20. If I give away all my goods to feed the poor, and I give my body to be burned, and don't have love, it profits me nothing.
Nitrous oxide inside of these cans to help with the functionality of what it's meant for. How about maybe just maybe not do the drug, maybe let the canisters be the canisters and let people use them for what it's meant to be, you know? And for this reason alone is exactly why it took so long for this drug to be realized as a drug, because for a long time no one wanted to put nitrous oxide in a drug class. So just for a little lesson on drugs real quick, there are three classes: Class A, B, and C. Class A drugs being your hardcore stuff like heroin, cocaine, ecstasy, etc. While Class B has the more intermediate things such as weed and ketamine, while Class C is the weaker end of drugs that anyone can really get their hands on, such as anabolic steroids. And for a long time, laughing gas wasn't considered on par with any of these drugs to be classified because of how inconvenient it would be selling products with nitrous oxide included. But eventually, watching how widespread it started to become, they did eventually classify the drug as a Class C, making it illegal to have nitrous oxide for yourself, give away, or sell, being punishable up to 2 years in prison or paying an unlimited fine. So maybe you can start to understand why this drug is rapidly growing, seeing that there is no true punishment for using it outside of a little jail time, which most people don't even receive, and if they do, I'm sure they can take a plea for probation. And most times, moreover, you're more likely to just pay a fine and go on about your day, which, seeing how everything is escalating right now in social media, in society, I think we should definitely change, you know, how the government's running the drugs and everything right now and the punishments on all that. And, you know, I hate to be a buzzkill, but we do need to get on top of that shit, like, immediately.
He definitely just killed
And
my
personally,
shit.
I
Damn.
don't even agree with where they classify this drug at all. And you may be saying, damn, Zio, you
Nah,
must
this
hate seeing people
specifically,
have fun.
get
And
it
no,
out.
that's not the case. I just rather see people alive. Because if you don't know, it's the fact that according to AmericanAddictionCenters.org, inhalants such as nitrous oxide and whippets are used more by adolescents and young adults than adults 26 and older. In fact, around 2020, 6% of 8th graders.
Bro, these niggas know what the fuck that shit is. They not gonna buy that shit. They not fucking stupid.
3% of 10th graders and 2% of 12th graders have all reportedly used inhalants in a year's time. And that's in 2020. By 2022, according to addictioncenter.com, approximately 13 million Americans aged 12.
I ain't heard about them bitches till this year, so I don't know. I'm late.
And up have misused nitrous oxide. Now just imagine how much these numbers have grown since then. All because of one, how accessible the drug is, and two, there's no harsh punishment to make people second guess using. Also, why the fuck are little kids using drugs? Now I
No,
understand
for real.
we've all been young, so I can't necessarily go too hard on them doing the drug, but why this drug? Are vapes too hard to get their hands on? Is weed too hard to buy? I just don't like the fact that little kids feel the need to do the drugs, period, and the ones that they do end up trying are the most extreme ones with such negative repercussions. Why? Please, parents, watch your damn kids, damn. And now that we've learned what nitrous oxide is, why people use it, and how people use it, now let's get into why they shouldn't be doing these fumes and talk about some short-term effects of usage. Now, the short-term side effects of whippets are kind of on par with many other drugs in the sense that symptoms usually depend on your weight, overall health, the amount you use, and if you mix it with other drugs. These symptoms do include slurred speech, a lack of coordination, nausea and vomiting, headaches, blurry vision, tiredness, and irregular heartbeat, and more. But nothing much that you probably wouldn't also experience during a hangover, you know? Right? Well, let's get into the long-term logistics of inhaling nitrous oxide. Well, let's start off with the fact that you can get brain damage, liver damage, kidney damage, loss of overall coordination, depression, issues with behavior development, ringing in your ear, loss of muscle control in your arms and legs, potential birth defects, a weakened immune system, and many more. Oh, and how could I forget the lack of vitamin B12, which may not sound serious, but whippets actually prevent B12 from being absorbed in the body, causing nerve damage. Doesn't that sound just great? Also, if you have any pre-existing medical conditions you may or not may know of, you're kind of playing Russian roulette because at any moment, any huff or any puff, you could faint or worse have a heart attack. Doesn't this just sound like the perfect drug an 8th grader should be doing, right? Or anyone should be doing, huh? Doesn't it just sound fun? And let's not even talk about the fact that the more you do whippets, thinking that you're gaining a higher tolerance, the truth is you're actually gaining a higher chance of overdosing over time. Like it just gets higher the more that you do it and you don't even realize. So you keep huffing and puffing that shit, one day you're gonna and you're dead. You're done. You're done. And don't get me wrong, it may seem like I'm being harsh or condemning the people who use nitrous oxide, but I truly just care because I hate how much people seek for the hardest new drug to get high off of. Maybe I can understand being at a party and trying it once because you know YOLO, but we all know what that eventually leads up to. One time turns into 2 times, which turns into you becoming a zombie on the rough part of town, leaning against the air, having people come record you for content and place a Playboy Cardi song in the background of the video, blowing up while having other people comment 1,000+ aura about you, while the whole time mentally you're over here fighting paralysis demons but 24/7 all day long in your mind. I didn't even get the chance to mention the fact that the mental effects of this drug is depression and psychosis, and those two things don't usually go well together because of what it eventually leads up to. And I just want y'all to be safe out there and to understand what exactly you're getting yourself into before you ever take that first puff. And if you
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, nigga. If you smoking on fucking turbo fuel, then it's, you should already know what's coming for you. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. The shit not no type of discreet, none. Just a big ass fucking canister, bro. Why would you even want to walk around with this shit? That shit's stupid. That's some insane shit. I ain't picking that bitch up. I thought that shit was just like a regular nicotine little vape or something, but just like to the max or something. Or it actually was like weed, THC or something. I was gonna actually look into that shit. That shit is nitro fuel. These niggas is smoking nitro fuel, bro.